Listen, if you guys don't get these 5 products before summer starts, your entire detailing business will implode from the inside out. And I'm talking about an explosion that will be even worse than the huge dynamite explosion that happened in the city I live in just the other day, where pieces of gigantic rock actually fell through people's houses and crushed their cars. That actually happened. Now, of course, I'm just messing with you guys. Your detailing business is not going to implode from the inside out. But that being said, we are moving into the warmer months of the detailing season now. And one of the most helpful things for you in the heat is going to be the ability to operate quickly and easily without worrying about the products malfunctioning because you're in the spring and summertime heat. And this is something that literally took me years to figure out in my detailing business through trial and error. So I want to make sure that you guys can shorten your learning curve and get the stuff right away that you need without having to waste money and getting frustrated ruining paint, glass, chrome, and other parts of customers' vehicles. Now guys, before we get into this video, I need to talk to you about something that was absolutely horrifying that I came across just the other day. And I've seen a lot of horrifying things, so this one really set me back. As I was organizing my products in my detailing garage, underneath the cabinets I found an old, withered, swirl mark covered, termite infested, water spot etched like button. And I knew as soon as I saw the like button, the only way that it could have come to something like this and sit in that kind of condition is because just a few people watching these videos decided not to press it. So for those of you watching this and you're coming to the end of the tax season wondering where you can put that charitable donation to reduce your income tax that you have to pay, all you have to do is donate one little click on that like button below this video and you will save a like button. Now I will say clicking a like button below is not tax deductible, but it will help this video rank in the YouTube algorithm so that other detailers other than you can actually come across this video, watch it, get the information they need, and help grow their own detailing business. So guys, obliterate the like button below this video and let's jump into the information. Now, the very first product that you guys must have for the warmer months, summer and spring, and just detailing in the sun and in the heat is Optimum No Rinse, particularly mixed with a solution of distilled water and Optimum No Rinse. Why is that? Number one, distilled water is not going to, at any time, form water spots on the paint that are not easily removed by some simple ONR in distilled water or another liquid chemical. This is because there are no minerals, or at least so little minerals in distilled water that it's actually not something that is going to leave minerals behind on the paint when the water is evaporated. It's also absolutely the best clay lubricant there is. It can be used in the direct sun as a clay lubricant. It can be also used in the sun on the interior, on different parts of the exterior as a final touch, as an interior protectant. And it's really great to use going around the car, kind of like a final time to make sure that you haven't missed anything, a tiny little bug, guts mark, a tiny little speck where some dust has fallen, a tiny little place where you closed the door and got some fingerprints on the window or on the black trim or on the paint or anything like that. It's also going to be something that you can use a ton of, which you're going to need to do when you are using it in the sun. Why is that? Because as liquids flash dry on the paint in the summertime, you're going to have something that you can go through at a rate that is going to be reasonable economically for you. I use one capful, that is literally one capful of Optimum No Rinse mixed with the rest of the 32-ounce bottle filled up, spray bottle filled up with distilled water. So this is something that economically makes a ton of sense. It's also something that I don't have to worry about flash drying on the paint like you can see here in the warm detailing weather that I'm doing here. I'm spraying it all over the paint. I'm spraying it all over the glass. I'm using a ton of product, not having to worry about it at all. And it's necessary that I do that in order to get the proper clay lube kind of maneuvering that I need, because I need it not flash drying on the paint in order to move that clay bar in a way that makes sense across the paint. In addition to that, any overspray that you get on any other part of the car is not going to be something you have to worry about whatsoever. Once again, you're not going to have to worry about water spots, but just the chemical aspect of it is not something you have to worry about. Even if it dries on a certain part of the paint, you're not going to have any etchings or anything like that. The next thing you absolutely need in the heat, in the sun, in the summer months detailing is Meguiar's Wheel Brightener. Yes, This is my favorite wheel cleaner of all because I love acidic wheel cleaners. Yes, they are dangerous in certain aspects and in certain situations, but 99% of the time on 99% of vehicles that most of you are dealing with, an acidic wheel cleaner is absolutely fine. Why do I love it for warm months though? Because it is actually an amazing water spot remover. In the summertime, this is something I don't have to worry about so much in the wintertime, but in the summertime, one of the best uses for the wheel brightener, not only for the actual wheel cleaning, but after the wheel cleaning, even assuming that you dry off the wheel at a pretty good level, if you're using hard water from the hose without a deionized system, then you might get some drippage, you might get some leftover watermarks left on either the paint around the wheel or the wheel itself. Meguiar's wheel brightener about 5-to-1 or even 10-to-1 sprayed on a damp microfiber towel. Even if you're using hard water to damp the microfiber towel, it's totally fine. Sprayed on a damp microfiber towel will actually remove surface level water spots without any sort of worry whatsoever. It's not going to damage the paint. It's not going to damage the clear coat. Yes, you can rinse it off afterwards if you're extra careful, but once again, Meguiar's wheel brightener is actually safe for clear coat plastics, not glass, but clear coat plastics and things of that nature. It's actually why it works on the wheels, because they're clear coated. You wouldn't want to use it on bare metal, but it's a great water spot remover, and as things flash dry on the paint, having this in your arsenal just makes so much sense because of its primary use and of course its peripheral uses. The third product I want to talk about here is Meguiar's Synthetic Express Spray Wax. This is probably my number one favorite product to use detailing in the sun when I'm trying to protect paint. Why is that? Well, because in many ways it fits that same category as the Optimum No Rinse distilled water solution does. It is going to be able to be used on paint, glass, chrome, plastics, the wheels, and basically every other material on any exterior of the vehicle that you can think of. It is also something that can be used in the sun, and it is very, very easy to apply and more importantly take off in the sun. When using it on glass, I do suggest if you're using it on hot glass, hot paint, using it on glass, use a little bit less product than you are used to. Even spraying the microfiber towel first and applying it that way is going to be very helpful. This product is also going to remove any surface level water spots. The reason I repeat that word surface so many times is because the wheel brightener is going to be used when the water spot has sat there all day, had time to really have that those minerals materialize on the car paint. But what I'm talking about here is Meguiar's wheel brightener, or Meguiar's Synthetic Express Spray Wax, is going to be much more helpful when you are finishing the car paint and there's just some fingerprints here and there. There's some dust here and there. There's some surface level water spots that just dried on the paint. This liquid, just because of the nature of liquids, is going to take care of that but also protect the underlying paint. So this is just one of those products that once again can be used like it's being used here, but also tons of off-label uses in the same way as the Optimum No Rinse solution can be used on the interior to protect leathers, vinyls, plastics, rubbers, all of that sort of stuff. So it just makes sense once again to have this in your arsenal when the interior is hot as well, because we're talking about products to use in the summer months. It is not going to streak the interior. I can't stand using really thick multi-purpose dressings on the interior when it is hot outside. This is going to be the product I go for because the basically lack of viscosity is going to make it very easy to apply in all of these areas. Now, after that, I do suggest, guys, in the summer months, having an IPA wash, an isopropyl alcohol wash, 50% distilled water, 50% isopropyl alcohol. If you don't have that, a paint prep solution like Optimum Paint Prep is comparable. Now, I want to make a distinction. When I am preparing paint for a ceramic or for polishing, I am going to use a paint preparation. But this is not the context that I'm talking about this right now. An IPA wash or an isopropyl alcohol distilled water solution, doesn't have to be 50-50, it can be maybe 25% alcohol, 75% distilled water, is going to be extremely helpful when you're dealing with basically waxy materials, leftover products, and glass in the sun. The isopropyl alcohol dries up basically every other solvent or water-based product that is on the paint, and oftentimes your waxes or your sealants or whatever you're using on the paint, if you use a little too much and it's a little too hot outside, you're going to kind of be spreading it around almost like if you held your hands with mineral oil on them underneath water and you're just rubbing your hands around. Unless you use dish soap and a lot of it, you're not going to get that mineral oil or that baby oil off your hands with just water. You can thin it out, but it's not going to come off completely. That's why you want the IPA wash, because it's going to get rid of all of that stuff and flash dry on the paint, not leaving any streaks whatsoever, but it's really helpful as a tool when things go a little awry in the heat. And lastly, guys, I want to make sure you have Chemical Guys vinyl, rubber, and plastic VRP solution and chemical in your toolbox, because not only is it my favorite tire dressing for these thinner tires in the sun, but it actually works best in the sun and in the heat. I know it sounds like blasphemy because even the directions are going to tell you not to apply it in the sun, but I prefer to apply this particular product in the sun, in the heat, to the trim, to the wheel wells, and to the sidewall tires. I use it full strength on the sidewall of the tires. I use it 4-to-1 diluted with water, spraying it on the interior of the wheel wells to shine those up, and 4 or 3-to-1 for any interior uses, as well as the black trim. Alright guys, that brings us to the end. Listen, if you want to see these 5 products, make sure to go below in the YouTube description box. They will be conveniently listed there so that you can grab them off of Amazon or the corresponding detailing site that I buy them from. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in more detailing business content and, of course, content just like what you saw in this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button because I post YouTube videos every single week. And if you want more content on the daily, then you need to go over to Instagram, follow me at Wilson Auto Detailing, because I post content pretty much daily on the Instagram page, so you can follow the detailing content over there. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard, and I will see you guys in the next video.